Hello everybody and welcome to another video here on Philly Sports Network. It's not an illusion, you're not dreaming, you're not imagining it. I'm back. I know it's been a while and I apologize, and we're going to get into the reasons why and what's to come. Some of it I can tell you, some of it I can't quite yet, but I'm itching to, and I physically can't wait to share with you what the future of this channel holds, what the future of Philly Sports Network holds. But what a year it's been. And I think the last time I did one of these update videos and said I was going to be back, it didn't go very well because ultimately I wasn't back for very long. But I think a lot's changed since then, and we're in a spot now to kickstart the new year running. So there will be regular scheduled Eagles coverage. We're talking film rooms, we're talking podcasts, we're talking everything in between. This week in Philadelphia sports, everything you loved to hate before will be back again. And so much has changed, like not just for me, but I mean for the Eagles, right? Like in the time that I've been gone, they've got a Pro Bowl cornerback. Who'd have thought? Imagine the hot takes I could have had earlier in the year as well when, you know, Sirianni wasn't running the ball against the Chiefs despite them having the worst rush defense, and then magically discovering a rushing juggernaut. Like, it would have been peak PSN coverage, and I deprived you of that. And I am sorry, like, I feel bad. Devontae Smith is now so saucy that if you genuinely uploaded his routes to OnlyFans, you would make money. And that, pretty good. But before we get into anything Eagles related, I think I owe you guys a bit of an explanation and an update as to why I was away for so long, what's going on with PSN. And I think the logical place to start is that I heard you and I get it. Like, I understand a lot of you are very annoyed that the content stopped. And I heard the comments. I get the notifications on my phone. They don't fall on deaf ears. I mainly feel sorry for Brian and Morgan when they're doing Flipping the Birds and they get comments like, I'm unsubscribing, Liam was here, like, this is Liam's channel. And I'm like, I know, it's just, you know, stuff happens. I get the comments still on old videos saying you miss me and you miss the content, and it legitimately made me want to cry every single time. And there are other times where it's like, I'm unsubscribing, I hate it, Liam was his channel, you killed a 20k channel. And it's like, I didn't, man, it was just killing me to upload, like, a lot. I didn't have the time anymore. Essentially, is, you know, when I first started making these videos, I was maybe 22 years old, had a part-time job, trying to get PSN to be full-time. I was hungry, I was young, like, I'm 27 nearly. I'm not old, but I'm older than I was. The time, as it's become my full-time job, and then we had the COVID complications, like, my priorities just ended up being aligned elsewhere. Like, 2020, there was, like, content coming out of my ears. There was a point I said earlier in the last update video where I had a video, a Twitch stream, and 3 articles a day on PSN.com, and that was my life. Like, I was just fully sending 15-hour days because I had to survive. Like, I had to make money. The world went to shit and I was self-employed. This was my livelihood. It wasn't a hobby anymore. It was, I had to. And I think the second you have to do something, it's not a want, you know, and you can treat it quite differently because of that. So then in 2021, I had a few life changes, as you guys know. Somehow found a sustainable relationship, which, may I just note, hasn't gone tits up yet, right? Let's get a round of applause. This is no bad relationship analogies and omens and jokes in content because it's actually good for a change. So I know, I'm letting the brand down. But I basically just started becoming an adult. Like, I had hobbies outside of PSN, whereas before, PSN was always the hobby. And I just realized how hard I was pushing myself before with YouTube stuff, that the site would sometimes suffer my written coverage. And when I realized just how fast the site was growing, and for context, like, I'll be totally transparent with you here, we went from getting maybe 100 to 150,000 views per month on our website to over 400,000, to at peak around 400,000, which is a massive increase, not just in terms of revenue, but in terms of obviously, you know, workload. If you see content all of a sudden appearing the top page of Google, like if you search Philadelphia Eagles, a lot of the time our site comes up now. Same with the Sixers and the Flyers. Like, that means we're doing something right. But then I have to go super hard with written coverage because that's where the profitability is for my business and my livelihood, right? So we get to 2021, life balance is out. I'm still churning out as much written content as possible on phillysportsnetwork.com. And as I'm putting more and more time into writing and then trying to fit in all these other things like relationships and seeing friends again who I didn't see in the pandemic, and then obviously, or basically just living a life, it's hard to fit in 4 or 5 hours a day to make a video without it then severely impacting the next day. And the same will go for Twitch streams as well, which I also miss, and we will get to that a bit later. But it wasn't for a want of trying. Like, it's not that I didn't want to upload. Like, I miss it just as much as you guys. I miss the comments. I miss making you all laugh. I miss giving you insightful coverage. It was just that at that time, trying to rebalance my life and understand, all right, what's too much for me now? Like, I can't work as hard as I did when I was like 22 because my life's different. I have different priorities. And I've got to look out for different things in my life now. So it was more of a conscious decision to look after myself and to pursue the avenue that would best generate PSN a sustainable future. So again, a good example, let's take an Eagles film room. All right, if I have to watch a game back, that can take maybe, what, 2 hours? You're then focusing on a play, you're cutting up the clips, you've then got to label all the clips, put them into Final Cut, then put them into an order, do all the do-overs with the chroma key and the annotations and stuff, then find the stock footage, then do the voiceover, then make it fit so that it doesn't look like I'm talking over nothing. It's like a 5 to 6 hour process, and I don't have that block of time anymore, and I don't want to put out content I'm not happy with. We're now in a position as a company to free up my time where I can attack YouTube, where I can get back in and treat YouTube specifically like a full-time job. A lot of people, I think, go from YouTube as a hobby to then YouTube as a job, and that's a cool transition. But when I did it, I went from YouTube as a hobby to YouTube as a job, but then the website's the job, but then Twitch is the job, but then running the website, having to be a manager and a lead writer and an editor and a social media manager and all these other things in one. It became really hard to find that time for PSN on YouTube when, again, life was changing right in front of me and I had these other priorities now where I wanted to take care of myself and make sure I was in a spot to make sure you get the content you deserve, basically. Things get exciting. So I don't want to promise you false things because I'm not that kind of guy and I feel terrible. But there will be regular content here in 2022. And I can't say just yet exactly what's happened or why it's happening or anything like that. But there is a massive shift in PSN as a whole that is going to open up a lot of doors for us. And it's going to mean that not only are we going to be able to, I think, go back on top and find that place in the YouTube hierarchy, if you will. And I think in my absence, there's been some amazing YouTube content. Guys like Philly500, guys like Lord Brunson, guys like Bergang31, all doing fantastic jobs with their Eagles coverage. What's pissed me off, though, is that there has been, I think, an increase in, I would say, corporately owned YouTube coverage that would come in, and it's taking that audience away from guys who that is becoming their jobs now, and they don't have the budget or the time like myself to keep up with them, and that's annoying. So what we're doing in 2022 is we're going to come back bigger, better, harder than ever. If they want to come into our territory, if they want to start pumping out YouTube content, then you're going to have to hang with the best, because I'm not taking it lying down. I'm not going to watch on as people sort of start taking the ideas that, you know, me and a few of the other content creators came up with a few years back and started at with this Eagles stuff. I want to come back and I want that top spot. I want PSN to be revered as the top Eagles related YouTube channel, and that's not necessarily a shot at anyone, it's just that competitive nature I've got. I heard those comments, I saw the amount of times you were asking for content or asking where Liam is or wondering when I'm going to come back. I understand how much you want this content back, and I promise you, because of that support, because of your undying loyalty, because of the passion you have, not just for your teams, but somehow for me and PSN and what we've built together, there's going to be a very exciting year ahead of us and far beyond that as well. And again, I can't explain exactly what that means just yet, but all I can say is that you helped push PSN to a point where opportunities I would have thought were never ever reachable. You know, I'm just a kid in England who has a passion for the Eagles and started a website one day, and it luckily turned into something after God knows how long of hard work and blood, sweat and tears. It's now got to a point where it's not just going to change my life, it's not just going to change our writers' lives, it is going to change the way you guys consume media. And again, I can't tell you what that is yet. It's really hard not to just go all in and let it slip, but we're on the verge of something special here, and it's going to not only legitimize Philly Sports Network as a media company, it's going to take the fight to the guys like Jakib Sports Media, who, I don't know what a Jakib is, you know, take off your pants and Jakib, I don't know. Fair play to what they do in the post game, but it ain't what we do at PSN, alright? And I think if we go all guns blazing this year, if we fully send what I think we're able to send with the opportunities that are now available to us, We took a year out from YouTube in 2021 for a million reasons, and right at the end of the year, something knocked on my door with an opportunity that was just, it was incredible, and something that was far too dreamy to pass up. Philly Sports Network isn't going anywhere. We're back. We're badder than ever. We're gonna make some real noise in 2021, and that's because of your support continuing to push PSN to the forefront, continuing to read our content, continuing to interact with us on Twitter, to comment on the videos, to push for that return. And we're back. And again, this won't just impact the website, it will impact the YouTube channel, our socials, our community, our Discord. There's going to be so much now we can put in to growing this. It's no longer just a blog. It's no longer just a YouTube channel or fanalysis or fanalist, whichever you want to call it. We're coming. We're coming, and it's a special opportunity. So look, you've been sleeping. If you've given up on PSN, if you're getting your content elsewhere, fair enough, but we're going to make you regret it every step of the way. And for those that have ridden with us since day one, that have been here since the Sam Bradford era where I was shipping him, from my love for Rasul Douglas to the Clayton Thornton song, to the preseason streams, to the Twitch streams, to the film rooms, to where we are right now. For those that have ridden with PSN, that have bought our merchandise, that watch our content because they like something different, I promise you what's coming is going to make you proud. This is a proud dad moment for me. I hope that you guys will get as excited about it as I am. I genuinely can't wait to see what the future holds for PSN, not just from a company perspective, but from a community, because there's no us without you, and we're bringing you with us on what could be the most amazing, unthinkable journey of our lives. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for just giving me the patience, the time, the understanding that life can get in the way, because at the end of the day, when we've come towards the end of the year and something just got flipped upside down, we're going to attack 2022. We're going to surprise a lot of people, and what we're doing, I think it's going to change the game. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, because I'm sure many of you run a million miles away from now, but it means everything to have you back around here. I'll see you tomorrow for an Eagles video where we talk about the playoffs and what lies ahead with the Bucks. I can't wait to get into that with you. I love every single one of you, man. Thank you for making this possible and for sticking with me.